The Cardinal Grand Cross peaks today, and I wanted to share with you how symbolic this Cardinal Grand Cross is in terms of your metamorphosis, the opportunity for you to experience self as awareness. This is what I call the opportunity to dismantle the matrix of physical form. And I'll describe a little bit more about that. And in order to just rest in a constant state of paradise as awareness. So if we look at the Cardinal Grand Cross, what it signifies is a period in which we are going to be moving from the power control force standpoint into a period of action, or what I would say reaction for a lot of people who are still immersed in the third dimensional construct, believing that that is the ultimate reality, this third dimensional illusory reality called the physical world experience. And so we have today, March the 23rd or April the 23rd, we have Mars at 13 degrees, Jupiter at 13 degrees, and we have Uranus at 13 degrees and Pluto at 13 degrees, give or take. And that makes up in the sky per se a cardinal grand cross. Now, the cross also is symbolic of the four directions, could be the cross that we are so immersed in the symbol, meaning that is used in the church, Christianity, and all religious. It could be the circle, the four directions, the circle cut up into four, the four seasons, the equinoxes and the solstice. So it's really a very significant symbol that is used on so many levels. But really, how it's symbolically, how I could reference it is that it is an opportunity for us to completely eradicate and dismantle this program reality that we are immersed in. This program reality that we are immersed in is built on the chakra system. And most of humanity, that is this, let's look at just from the seventh chakra system, which is the energetic field that the human being is immersed in. That's the program that we're operating on, and most of humanity is only operating within the first three chakras, the first, second, and third chakra, cut off from the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh chakra. And these wheels of light, which many call them, are really wheels of deception. The only reason why the wheels per se are wheels is because they are immersed in a lot of distortion from the programmed reality that we are in through the cultural codes that have been socially induced, that we bought into, the belief systems. So all your traumas and dramas and all your belief systems and the energetic imprinting from the social codes that we've all bought into in our genetics, and all that imprinting is simply caused the distortion in these wheels. And that's why these wheels are wheels, because they house the distortion within your energetic field. So even though you may look at a picture of a chakra system on an individual, it's overlaid over the individual, those wheels are really symbolic of the distortions that you're holding in your energetic field. And so awareness cannot experience itself when you have these wheels operating as they are. Awareness can't get through. And so the work is to unravel these wheels in this energetic system, this seven chakra system, and so that you do not have these wheels and that so that awareness can seamlessly move through you without any distortions. Now, that's a work. But many people think that these wheels are a good thing. These chakra system, these wheels, they look colorful and they look gorgeous. No, they're distortions that you're under based on your social coding and your programming and all your belief systems that cause the distortions, so that awareness cannot move through you. It's been hijacked in the first three chakras. Mostly in the sexual chakra, because this is a sexual predatory environment that we are immersed in. Procreation, this whole idea of procreation, how we create here, we procreate here through these biological systems. And so most of humanity doesn't know who it is or what it is. And many people will not take the journey because they haven't been told by the power control force that there is a potential for them to come to know self as awareness. It hasn't gone through the media circle, because most people need to be told that, the opportunity for humanity to evolve is very present, and here's what you need to do in order to evolve and grow yourself. No, they hide all of that information from you by distracting you through the media. But if the power control force, those that presume to run this world, were to come clean and tell you the truth, they would tell you that we have been feeding you lies in order to distract you, and we have decided that we are no longer going to do that, and we really want you to come to know the truth of who you are as awareness, so you can create and live the life in which you want in the physical plane. That is a pipe dream. It's just not going to happen. And so for those of us who know that there is this opportunity and this auspicious moment with the Cardinal Grand Cross allows us to dismantle this matrix, this system, and come to know self as awareness. For those of us who know this and are experiencing this on a certain level, we have come to realize that we have to make our own way here and our own on this particular journey. And so there's going to become a very significant critical divide between those who choose to come to know self as awareness and those who want to continue immersing themselves in their socially induced waking sleep, whereby their perception is continuously being hijacked by the power control force through their socially induced entrancement. That is the dilemma for most of humanity. And so, what does one have to do? One must fight for their right to be awareness. It is your divine right to come to know the truth of who you are as awareness. And you must muster the strength within you to know the truth of this. You must muster the strength to reclaim your sovereignty and freedom. Because as things intensify, this will become paramount. While many do still not believe that it's going to affect them, it will affect, and it does affect, each and every one of us. And so, you will have to muster up the strength of what I call righteous rage for your right to come to know self as awareness, to be free of this system, to be free of the imposition of this system. Now, Karis, you're talking about a programmed reality. Yes. You are immersed in a reality that is being spoon-fed to you, because awareness is the ultimate reality. That is only the true reality. The true reality is that, as awareness, you simply rest in a constant state of paradise. Yes, that is your divine right. And yet, your essence as awareness has been captured and is being used in this programmed reality called, on so many levels, consciousness. Yes, that's the con. You've been conned into these intellectual systems, these intellectual programs that have been imposed on the awareness that is you. And one of the major culprits that keeps you so immersed in this programmed reality, believing that this is all real, seduced on so many levels by the light that is glaring at you, that manifests all this matter, the light and the matter that is manifested as awareness is being used, and you're being deceived because you're under a program of self-hate, an unworthiness program. Yes, the power control force knows awareness and understands human behavior. And they basically said, well, we can get them to hate themselves enough. We can seduce them into this self-hate and unworthiness program, keeping them in a low vibration. And they'll never know who they are. They'll never want to know who and what they are because they'll be in a low vibration. We'll have them entranced in this socially induced programming, and we can do with them whatever we want. We can just use them. We can siphon off their energy. And we'll treat them like children. Yes, we'll keep them in a perpetual cycle of childlike nature because awareness is childlike. Awareness is malleable. Awareness is vulnerable and easily seduced. And the power control force said, yes, we know this. So if we can keep them in a childlike nature and state, giving them all kinds of responsibility that they, in their childlike nature, they can't handle, that'll entrap them, enslave them even more. You see where I'm going with this? So then you're aware, the awareness that is you can't really create when it doesn't know itself and its ability to create worlds. No. When awareness is only experiencing itself in waking sleep with its perception hijacked under socially induced programming and coding and belief systems, it's imprisoned. Can't create. It's very limited creation. Can create, but it's very limited. And so, the power control force, they don't have the right to control your essence as awareness, do they? Only if you give them that power. And see, so many of you are waking up to this. Many of you are coming to the recognition, the realization that, no, this is not okay. No one has a right to the awareness that I am. And to use me and manipulate me as awareness. Because in my exalted state as awareness, I am all-knowing and wise. And what I'm coming to realize is that I'm experiencing a very limited aspect of the totality of who and what I am. As awareness, I am a grand being. I'm beyond any type of being, really, but I use that concept, that idea, to have a greater understanding of what it is that I am experiencing here in this physical dimension. But when I just rest, I'm resting in a constant state of paradise, and I'm just resting there. There's nothing for me to do. There's nothing for me to attend to. And so I'm immersed in this dilemma during this auspicious time, this Cardinal Grand Cross. Am I going to seize the day? Am I going to seize the opportunity to come to know self as awareness and be the grand experience of awareness and decide that I'm going to live in physical form under sovereignty and freedom of my own choosing and making, and I'm not going to adhere to this socially induced program by a few people who seem to have a lot of knowledge and money and are simply manipulating their way and using awareness for their own purpose and desires. And all they're about is power and control. Do I want to participate in that? No. And that's what the power control force fear. That you will wake up out of your waking sleep, come to know self as awareness, and say no to the system. Because once you say no to the system, it dissolves. It'll dissolve itself. And so the key here is the opportunity to know self as awareness is by changing your frequency, changing your vibration, allows you to dismantle the energetic system that has been imposed, that you are encapsulated in as awareness through this chakra system. This energetic chakra system is the operating system, the programming device that keeps you immersed in the illusion that all of this is real into your self-imposed prison. And so it truly is a hero's journey when you embark on the journey to come to know self as awareness. It requires you to take responsibility. Yes, you mature when you embark on the hero's journey, and it's a natural, organic process. And I'll be explaining more of that as we go along here. But it requires you to grow up. It requires you to take responsibility. So if you're not wanting to take responsibility and to grow up, and you just want to stay in your childlike nature as awareness, only experiencing a very small, minute aspect of the totality of who you are, then I suggest you not listen anymore. Let's not waste our time here. Because this is truly about building community as awareness, about taking responsibility, about growing up, about owning our own stuff, and stop projecting onto one another, and stop vomiting on one another. Because you're going to see more of that in a big way, and it's going to be glaringly obvious. Those who are resisting this auspicious opportunity, and those who are bearing witness to their own metamorphosis and taking responsibility. So the opportunity is to experience in this Cardinal Grand Cross when we move into this period of action. It's not to react. It's to take responsibility and create using your natural, innate abilities that will organically reveal themselves as your gifts that you are rightfully the rightful ownership of. Take those gifts and create an awareness reality construct of your own choosing and your own making and live within your own reality construct as awareness while still in physical form. Because this will become a very definitive, if not already, choice for many. Many are leaving this planet. And you, I know, are already seeing signs of it. You may be pondering or questioning whether you want to be here or not. And so what I'm suggesting here is that you're going to have to acquire the strength. You're going to have to become rageful on your own behalf as things intensify. And you'll have to continue to ask the question, am I worth it? Do I have what it takes to come to know self as awareness and to immerse myself in change, not knowing what that's going to look like? Am I worth it to embrace something that I know nothing about? Am I willing to do the work? Even though I've been told and coddled and told and socially encoded and coddled to just be childlike in this system. It's going to require me to do more. Oh, I don't know if I want that or not. So the question becomes, and I'll leave you with this. Am I going to allow myself to be immersed in my pain and suffering? My socially induced pain and suffering? Because as awareness, you don't exist with any pain and suffering. They're not a part of awareness. Awareness has no concept of pain and suffering. These are impositions that are imposed in you in the system that are designed to keep you from the knowing of the truth of who you are. So then the question again is, do I want to rest in a constant state of paradise? Am I worth it? Am I worth the work that is required for me to go on the path? Or am I just going to sit around and acquiesce and choose the path of least resistance? Remember, you're immersed in a game. It's a story. You're living someone else's story, someone else's dream. The opportunity for you now is to live your own dream, to live your own story, to become awareness and develop and create your own reality construct and build community. I thank you so much for tuning in. It truly is a glorious time to be here. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the ride.